Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them.
That same God, Yahweh, through his son Yahweh Shai, is gonna deliver the same people in this time that we're living in. And the scriptures tell it clearly. If your eye has been opened to see these things, there's no way no other nation can make it into our kingdom, which is the kingdom of Yahweh Shai. There's no way. They're going to be servants.
But thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. But because the Lord loved you, and because ye would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh king of Egypt.
You can totally see it. You can totally see that the same God, Yahweh, that was delivering the children of Israel out of all type of captivities when they went off, is the same power, Yahweh, that's going to send his son back, Yahweh Shai, who is of our nation, to deliver the elect in these last days before Esau, Edom, when his establishment of his new world order is totally destroyed. That's what's getting ready to happen. Ain't nothing else getting ready to happen but that.
Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them.
Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash, double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to our younger brothers. And peace and blessing, salutations to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. What I want to get into today, is dealing with, Yahweh Shai, the bread of life, and this lesson was inspired, by something I was reading in the book of Luke, the 6th chapter, particular account, dealing with Yahweh Shai. And, one thing about it is we understand, the dynamic, the Pharisees, all right, during the time of Yahweh Shai, as we went into their history, leading up to Yahweh Shai. And you see pretty much just back and forth. Yahweh Shai will make points, okay, that will be over their head because, they were so corrupted and defiled, they'll say they was just worried about status and they had turned the priesthood to a political office, okay? But Yahweh Shai, all right, was transitioning, okay, from when he was in the earth, all right, he was pretty much transitioning from the old Levitical priesthood, all right, into the new priesthood under the order of Melchizedek, okay, in which, the elect men, okay, those 12,000 men from each tribe have an order, within that priesthood under Melchizedek, all right. So when you go to the book of Luke, all right, let's get that account, and he's going to make a point, and we're going to show how, Yahweh Shai being that bread of life, has given us access, to all these things. Okay. Now, when you read the book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 1, it says, "And it came to pass on the second Sabbath after the first, that he went through the cornfields, and his disciples plucked the ears of corn and did eat, rubbing them in their hands. And certain of the Pharisees said unto them, why do you that which is not lawful to do, okay, on the Sabbath days? All right. So they will always, try to find some type of angle, to come at Yahushua, to trip him up or to discredit his ministry. Okay, because remember they felt extremely threatened, okay, by the presence of Yahushua, all right, and authority that he was coming with. Okay. So we read on, it says that Yahushua answered them, said, have you not read so much as this? All right. What David did when himself was in hunger, and they were, it says, and they which were with him, okay, how he went into the house of the Most High and did take and eat the showbread, and gave also to them that were with him, which is not lawful to eat, but the priests alone. So he goes into account dealing with King David, okay, how there was a time, when he was a hunger, when he was on the run from Saul, and he went into the temple, all right, it ate of the showbread, which was only lawful for the priest to eat. Okay, so now Yahushua, is setting up, all right, to let them know that, look, as you read in verse 5, and he said unto them, the Son of Man is the Lord also of the Sabbath. All right, and ultimately Yahushua was letting these guys know that he, all right, is the master of the law. Okay, he's a master of the law on a whole nother level, and he governs over the law. Okay, you see, we are within the law. All right, the Heavenly Father and Yahushua, they govern from outside of the law. Okay, and Yahushua was showing that authority that was given to him by the Father, and Yahushua understood the law on a whole nother level that they didn't understand. All right, that's why when you go here, because they were saying, well, the disciples were eating, okay, of the corn, all right, as they was walking through. Okay, well, when you go to the law, all right, and Apostle Paul tied it in spiritual. All right, just lock it real quick. All right, when you go into it, all right, now let's go into the actual law. This is Deuteronomy 25:4. It said, thou shalt not muzzle the ox when he treadeth out the corn. Okay, now you will have, your ox, treading, corn. Okay, he will come through, he will be pretty much going through the corn harvest. And as he was working, he was laboring, he will be eating the corn, and you will have, farmers, okay, that would muzzle, okay, the ox. All right, so he wouldn't eat none of the harvest. But it was within our law that, don't muzzle the ox, because he's working. He's fueling himself while he's working, okay, while he's laboring. He's doing all this labor, okay, within the harvest. He's the one that's doing the heavy work. He should partake in some of the harvest which he's trading down. If you got a whole field, okay, you got acres of corn. All right, he's not going to eat an acre worth of corn. He's going to eat a little portion. Okay, so in our law, you wouldn't muzzle, the ox as he traded out the corn. Okay, verse now the Apostle Paul tied it in the spirit. Okay, and that's another thing that the Pharisees, they didn't see things spiritually. You see, Yahushua, he fulfilled the law not only in the flesh, all right, but spiritually, he was always showing a shadow of things to come. Because guess what? Those disciples eventually became what? Apostles. Okay, all right. So when we read verse 17, 1 Timothy 5:17 said, let the elders that rule be counted worthy of double honor, especially they who labor in the word and doctrine. And see, the disciples with Yahushua, they was laboring. You know, Yahushua was always teaching. He was preparing them to do what? Go reap the harvest of the elect. Okay? So as they was eating corn, going through, all right, there was a shadow in the spirit of them laboring in the harvest, man. Okay? They was laboring. All right? Verse 18, for the scripture saith, as we just read in Deuteronomy 25:4, thou shalt not muzzle the ox that treadeth out the corn, and the labor is worthy of his reward. Okay? So Apostle Paul tied it in the spirit. You see? So those disciples that was laboring with Yahushua and they was eating the corn, okay, it was likening to them laboring, okay, in the vineyard of Israel. Okay? And they will partake, you know, in some of the harvest, okay, as they was laboring. You know, that's why they were, you know, they would receive tithes, and all right, because the tithes are only for the priesthood, but under Melchizedek, okay, a all men that are laboring in the office of the priest under the order of Yahushua, you know, they are worthy of a reward. Now, you know, we're not here to extort you or, you know, guilt trip you into tithing, you know, but, you know, brothers receive, you know, gifts from their labors, even if it's just, you know, something as a garment, you know, candle, incense, you know, even things of that. That's the Lord. That's men. All right, pretty much. All right, partaking, you know, in the harvest. You know, as they're harvesting, men is, you know, harvesting crops, which is the elect. You know, they partake, okay, in the reward of their harvest, man. All right, now we know the real reward, the true reward coming at the time of your shot. All right, but in the meantime, there are certain, you know, little things that, you know, brothers, you know, benefit. All right, as they labor in this word, you know. So let's go back here and see that was over the Pharisees' head. All right, now let's get that account in the book of Samuel. All right, dealing with King David. So in 1 Samuel 1, uh 1 Samuel 21, 21 to 1. All right. It said, then came David to Nob, to Amalek, the priest, and Amalek was afraid of meeting David and said unto him, why art thou alone and no man with thee? All right. And remember, he's on the run from Saul. And David said unto Amalek the priest, the king have commanded me a business, and have said unto me, let no man know anything of the business whereabout I send thee, and what I command thee, and I have appointed my servant to such and such place. Now therefore, what is under thy hand, give me 5 loaves of bread in my hand, or where there is pleasant. And the priest answered David and said, there is no coming bread under my hand, but there is hollow bread. Okay? Hollow bread. All right? It was ultimate Yahushua. If the young men have kept themselves at least from women, all right? Now let's get this word hollow. Because the priest like, I don't have just regular bread. This bread is, you know, it's hollow. Okay? Which is Yahushua. Yeah, I think that's Kodash. Okay, yep. And we say Kodash. All right, so it's the same word, Kodash. We speak of what? The Holy Spirit. Okay, what says apartness, holiness, sacredness, separateness. Okay, set apartness, separateness, and then Yahushua and the disciples teach that. Okay, so as we partake in this bread of Yahushua, are we not taught to be separate? Okay, from this society. Okay, Did Yahushua teach against this society? Okay, this is Luke 16:15. He said unto them, ye are they which justify yourselves before men, but the Most High knoweth your heart. For that which is highly esteemed among men is an abomination in the sight of the Most High. Okay, so this is Yahushua that was teaching, all right, separateness, okay, from this world, man. Okay, and Yahushua taught how the world disliked him, you know. Why? Okay, so as we partake in the bread of Yahushua, you know, it's setting us apart from everyone else, man. Okay, John 7:7 said, the world cannot hate you, but me it hateth, because I testify of it that the works thereof are evil. Okay, and Yahushua is hated. All right, the standard of Yahushua is hated in this society. Okay, because Yahushua is a testimony against this place. All right, because Yahushua comes in the volume of the book, and this book, all right, following Yahushua through this book separates us from this world. Okay, it sets us apart. All right, now it's St. John 17:13. It says, and now come I to thee, and these things I speak in the world, that they might have my joy fulfilled in themselves. I have given them thy word, and the world have hated them, because they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. Okay, so this bread of Yahushua is creating a separation. Okay, and the apostles, okay, they're the first partakers of what? That bread of Yahushua. They taught what? Being separate, okay, being set apart from this society. Let's get that in is this the book of Acts 2 and yep. This is Acts 2 and 40. And it says, and with many other words, this is Apostle Peter, did he testify and exhort, saying, save yourselves from this untoward generation. Okay? Save yourselves from this untoward generation, man. Speaking of the generation of the unthirs, man. The undesirables, man. Okay? So the Apostle Peter is teaching to believe the gospel, all right, and separate from this untoward generation, man. And you go into the word untoward, okay, it goes into being unpredictable, man. Because we know, all right, in this society, man, our people are all over the place, man. Okay? Jake is just all over the goddamn place. You know? No foundation in anything, man. And this word separates us from that. Okay? It separates us, okay, in the mind. Okay, now we, might go around, kick it with the fam sometimes. And, sometimes it get to the point where you can't even be around certain people, because it just, it's just a pretty much such a separation, there's so much disconnect, that you just, have to cut certain people off, man. Okay. And everybody's situation different, but that happens, man. Okay. So when you go back here to 1 Samuel, all right, that hollow bread, okay, is Yahushua. Okay, so he made another point. All right, I'm gonna read this in the NLT. All right, now when you read this is Samuel 21:4. Says, we don't have any regular bread. The priest replied, but there is the holy bread, which you can have if your young men have not slept with any women recently. Okay? It says, don't worry, David replied. I never allow my men to be with women when they are on a campaign. And since they stay clean, even on ordinary trips, how much more this one? All right. So when King David, will be on war campaigns, all right, his men will restrain from women. Okay, so they will be locked in, you know. And then you said they had not slept with women recently. All right, well, in the spirit, okay, let's go back to the KJV. In the spirit, all right, when you go to the new priesthood, okay, what was one of the things spoken of? All right, now this is Revelation 14:1. I read into it. It says, then I saw the Lamb standing on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000 who had his name and his father's name written on their foreheads. Okay? There's 144,000, those 12,000 men from each tribe, which will make up the government, all right, in a priesthood of Yahweh Shema Shai. And I heard a sound from heaven like the roar of a mighty ocean waves or the rolling of loud thunder. It was like the sound of many harpers playing together. Okay? The sound of many harpers playing together, man. That's the brother's teaching, man. Okay? You see, there's this big band, all right, that's teaching. Okay? Now, it says in day, all right, which is those men, those first fruits, okay, that what you will see on the front line, all right, laboring in his work, man. And they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders, and no man can learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. Okay. And then the new song, all right, is this doctrine, man, the refreshed song. Okay, as our pure minds have been stirred up and the full understanding has been given in these latter times. All right, we're singing this new song, man, through this doctrine. I say, these are they which are not defiled with women, for they are virgins. And this is speaking of in the spirit. These women represent philosophies. We're not corrupted with other doctrines or philosophies, man. Okay, we're pure. We're unpenetrated by the doctrines of deception of this world, man. Okay? We're not defiled by the doctrines of this world, man. Okay? Just as those men, they didn't deal with women. Those men that was with David, all right, which that's representation of the house of David. Those men that was with David, okay? They didn't deal with women, and they was able to partake within the showbread. It says, these are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto the Most High and unto the Lamb. Okay? So these men of these different tribes, okay, which will be considered undefiled, okay, in the spirit, spiritual virgins, all right, are able to partake in what? All right, the priesthood, man, under the order of Yahweh through what? The bread, the showbread. Okay? So when you go back here, Yahweh being that bread of life, man. And through him, there's I said there's a new priesthood. Okay? Now, so let's go back to 1 Samuel. Just finish that account, then jump to John. All right, this is the book of 1 Samuel 21:5. It says, and David answered the priest and said unto him, of a truth, women have been kept from us 3 days, and since I came out, and the vessels of the young men are holy, and the bread is in a manner coming, though it were sanctified this day, all right, in the vessel. So the priest gave him hollow bread, for there was no bread there but the showbread that was taken from before the Lord to put hot bread in the day when it was taken away. Okay? So as David and his men partook in their showbread, it was a shadow of things to come. The house of David, all right, partaking in the bread of Yahushua, all right, feasting, okay, on Yahushua. Yep. And the brother loading it up. You see? Yep. This the brother Kazak Bun Yahweh. This is Luke 4:4. And Yahushua answered him, saying, it is written that man shall not live by bread alone, but every word of the Most High. All right. And that's even in the law as well. Okay. So that word, all right, which who is the word? Yahushua. Okay. That's what we're digesting, man. Okay. That's what we're digesting is Yahushua. Okay. So let's go here. Yeah, let's get that in John. I see your brother posted. But let's go to the book of John and jump around. I this the book of John, chapter 6. All right. Let's get this. So this is, let's start at 30. All right, this is the book of St. John, chapter 6, verse 30. It says, they said therefore unto him, what sign showest thou then, that we may see and believe? What dost thou work? So this is Jake asking, for a sign. Okay. So Yahushua is going to go into an analogy. He's going to, he's going to go to an account. This is St. John 6:31. It says, our father did eat manna in the desert, as it is written. He gave them bread from heaven to eat. Okay. So this is them saying, look, our fathers received manna in the desert. Okay. He gave them bread from heaven to eat. And Jake, yeah, a lot of Jake that was just there for the feast, want to see Yahushua, do a miracle. Jake want to eat. Okay. You know how Jake is, man. So they pretty much, saying, look, our fathers did eat manna in the desert. As it was written, he gave them bread from heaven to eat. Okay, so now Yahushua is going to go into the spiritual aspect of these things. Okay, because remember, a lot of the Old Testament accounts, all right, and customs were a shadow of things to come. So when you read 32, this is Yahushua responding. Then Yahushua said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, Moses gave you not that bread from heaven, but my Father give you the true bread from heaven. Okay? And this is once again Yahushua showing, okay, a new order. Okay? Because the old covenant was under the order of Moses. That's why you would hear them say the law of Moses, which it was the law of the Most High. Moses, okay, was just the interpreter of the law. Okay? He was a mediator in that old covenant. Okay, but this is Yahushua showing, okay, that look, Moses gave you not the bread from heaven, like even that bread that Moses, that under the leadership of Moses that Israel was getting, okay, it wasn't the true bread from heaven. He said, nah, but my Father give you the true bread from heaven. He was speaking of himself. It said, for the bread of the Most High is he which cometh down from heaven and giveth life unto all the world. Okay? Because as he's going to go into, they say, then said they unto him, Lord, evermore give us this bread. See, he was still going over their head. because Yahushua came from the heavens. Okay, this spirit came from the heavens, all right, through the seed, okay, of Joseph, all right, incubated in Mary, all right, and being birthed into the earth. Okay, this was how the bread of life came. It says, and Yahushua said unto them, I am the bread of life. He that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believe on me shall never thirst. Okay, why? Because we're being fulfilled in the spirit. You see, there's nowhere else we can go and get a doctrine that fulfills us and that sustains us in these times, man. Okay, you see the chaos and the things that are gearing up with Esau Edom is what he's getting ready to do, and you know, the only thing that's sustaining us is this doctrine, man. No other doctrine can sustain us through the times that we're coming into. Okay, it's the only thing that's quenching us, man. This is because one thing about it, when you're full, you are in a state of what? Comfort. And the scripture is known as what? The comforter. Okay, it is known as the comforter, man. They have things that you call comfort food. Okay. Well, Yahweh Shai is likened to that comfort food, man, because we partake, all right, it creates a sense of comfort, man. Okay. In the midst of all these things that's to come. All right. And then the understanding the promises that come after the chaos, that's a comfort unto us, man. You know, that's why we hasten the day, because we comforted by the promises, man. Okay. And how are we privy, to the promises and understanding these things? Because we're partaking in the bread of life, which is Yahweh Shai. Okay? You see? So let's jump down to 47. All right. It says, Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me have everlasting life. Okay? Following Yahweh Shai is going to lead to immortality, man. Like in the world, you will follow, say you will follow niggas and you will end up in jail, prison, okay? Or following the doctrine of Esau, Edom, doing as thou wilt, okay? You be bugged out, okay? Look at what following the beast done for us, man. Okay? So we follow Yahweh Shai, the outcome is going to be immortality, man. Okay? And following anything else is death. All right, so Yahweh Shai says, I am the bread of life, man. Okay? Your fathers did eat manna in the wilderness and are dead. This is the bread which cometh down from heaven, that a man may eat thereof and not die, man. So as we begin to digest Yahweh Shai, to partake in this bread of life, okay, we're embarking on immortality, man. There's going to be some, all right, that don't see death. And then even the believers that see death, they're going to be resurrected immortals. Okay? So this bread, all right, is even giving us the victory over death. Okay? Believing in Yahweh Shai, when we're in Yahweh Shai, we're immortal. When we live in Yahweh Shai, we're immortal because he's immortal. Okay? It says, I am the living bread which came down from heaven. If any man eat this bread, he shall live forever. And the bread that I will give is my flesh, which I will give for the life of the world. Okay, and this is where he lost a lot of Jake when he made this statement. All right, but they didn't understand this. He was speaking in the spirit, and his flesh. All right, when he said he would give is his flesh, you remember he had to be that sacrifice, man. Okay, but ultimately, when it's speaking of the bread, it's speaking of this word, man. The volume of the book. This is likened, to the body of Yahweh Shai. Okay, this book. Okay, it says, the Jews therefore strove among themselves, saying, how can this man give us his flesh to eat? Okay, then Yahweh Shai said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, Except you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you have no life in you. And this is how Yahweh Shai will establish the new covenant. Okay? And he broke it down. You see, that's why we have, these books, in this fashion. Okay? In this order. So this is how we're able to sing the new song. See, we have the full understanding now. Okay? Because we can go through precept on precept in the Gospels and break these things down. This is Matthew 26 and 26. It says, and they were eating. Yahweh Shai took bread and blessed it and break it and gave it to the disciples and said, take, eat. This is my body. Okay? So he's breaking it down again. Okay? It says he took the cup and gave thanks. All right? Which that wine was symbolic of what? The blood. And gave it to them, saying, drink ye all of it. Okay? For this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for the many for the remission of sins. So through his body and his blood, okay, there will be a new covenant. And within this new covenant, we become immortal. Okay? But Yahweh Shai had to establish, all right, that new covenant, and it's going to be activated at his return when we're changed. Okay? But it's established through their sacrifice, man. Okay? His body and his blood. Okay? So as we partake in this bread of Yahweh Shai, we partake in their sacrifice, man. As we digest, okay, this book, okay, we're digesting Yahweh Shai in the spirit. Okay, Yahweh Shai is within us. That's why Yahweh Shai is forming in us, man. As they say in the world, you are what you eat. So Yahweh Shai is forming in us. Okay? And then it's leading to what? Immortality, man. You see? So going back here to matter of fact, if a brother could post Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 15 and Wisdom of Solomon 15 and 3. Yeah, Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 15 and Wisdom of Solomon 15 and 3. Bob Kashaf. So let's go back here to St. John. There you go. Just the brother Karal 144. So Shalom Mat. How about Shema Shabakata? That was an edifying lesson you did, the other day. The why for that, brother. Keep fighting, young man. But yep, the brother posted for me. Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 15. Okay, who was Solomon in the spirit? Yahweh Shai. All right. It says, for righteousness is immortal. Okay, and Yahweh Shai, what is he doing? What did he do? He established, okay, a foundation of righteousness, a doctrine of righteousness, man. Okay, because we're conformed to Yahweh Shai, we're learning how to move in the spirit. We're learning how we should be, and operate in the spirit. We learn how to conduct ourselves amongst brethren. We learn how to conduct ourselves amongst people. Okay, as we move in the spirit, and it's in a righteous order. Okay, Yahweh Shai is all about establishing righteous order, righteous judgment. In the volume of the book, okay, because all these writings, Proverbs, the Book of Sirach, Wisdom of Solomon, all these things are instructions, okay, and within it just unlimited, gems of wisdom, okay, on how we should be, okay. You see, and this order is able to sustain the earth eternally. See, Esau, the way he's going, he's in self-destruct mode, and he has everyone else in self-destruct mode. Okay? But righteousness can be sustained forever because it is set up to sustain itself. See, Esau has everything in the exact opposite. He has everything in self-destruct mode. Okay? Families are getting worse. One generation is worse than the next. It's a decaying, it's in a decaying state. You know, the earth existence, everything is in a state of decay under Esau Edom. That's why everything gets worse and worse. Every generation is worse. You know, it's in a state of destruction. But under Yahweh Shah, that righteous order, every generation is going to get more and more righteous, man. Okay, more and more order. Okay, which what you can sustain that forever because it's replenishing itself. Righteousness replenishes itself, man. Okay, order. All right. So let's get this from the brother. Kazak Bun Yahweh, the Wisdom of Solomon 15:3. It said, "For to know thee is perfect rightness, yeah. To know thy power is the root of immortality." Okay? And we know the Heavenly Father through who? Yahweh Shai. This is how the Yahweh Shai is the representative of the Lord's righteousness, man. You know, he exemplified that in the earth. Okay? Proverbs 12:28, it says in the way of righteousness is life, and in the pathway thereof there is no death. Okay? In the way of righteousness, all right, is life, and in the pathway thereof there is no death. So when righteousness becomes a culture, it produces life. Okay, and for the elect of Israel, all right, for Israel in general, it's going to produce immortality, man, so we can govern righteousness forever. Okay? And it's all through partaking in the bread of Yahweh Shai. Okay? And that's pretty much, let me see. It might be some more from St. John. You know, we'll get ready to close it out. All right, so go back to St. John chapter 6, verse 50. It says, no, I read that. I think we was in. Yep. I read this. This is St. John 6:54 says, "Whoso eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood have eternal life, and I will raise him up at the last day." Okay, and now we, the elect, have been raised up at the last day as we partake, okay, in this bread, man, okay, which is Yahweh Shai. Okay, we've been raised up, we've been brought back to life, man. Okay, that's why the word is likened to all, you know, foods that sustain, you know, water, okay, the bread, okay. Even then, you know, when wine was in its pure form, you know, it had a lot of health benefits, man. Okay, you know, the words even likened to, you know, to milk, okay, things that sustain, all right, and we're being sustained, all right, by Yahweh Shai, you know. So that was the point, you know. I pray that you brothers, all right, and if you sisters was edified, you know, once again, give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders, geometric rule well, teach well, being a great example towards younger brothers, and peace and blessings, salutations, and hopefully, Shalom.